Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Daily Grind where gamers find grace. This is your checkpoint. We're in the middle of your work week or your busy life at home. You can rest, reset, respawn with full life, full power bar, right? I'm your host, Shaun McAfee, and tonight we've got a really full party lined up. We've got Minecraft to play when we're done. We've got we've got our fifth guest on the show. If you guys weren't paying attention, it's Alden Erazo. He pronounces it Erazo, and I don't really agree with that, especially after months of living in Italy. We're going to start with an opening reflection and power up through the checkpoint reflection. We're going to touch on the reset and the power buttons that we're all so familiar with our consoles, or maybe your PC Master Race, you've just got that reset button, but you know what I'm talking about. After that, we'll roll into a little game I invented for our boss battle against Alden, and that's called a retro or right. And we'll use this young man to see how well he knows some of the older games in the library. So if you didn't know Alden, we'll do a full intro later, and I've actually got a note to read from his mom. I cannot forget to do that, but he's the founder of Catholic Game Reviews, which is why I'm so excited. Such an important resource for Catholics out there. Today, we're going to hear from him on that. His mom wanted me to say that he's a handsome college student, and she has a really nice thing to say later. I hope they're in the chat. Mom and Dad, say hi. Make sure you make your profile and say hi. We'll hit a checkpoint reflection. We'll talk about the Spanish Civil War martyrs, which are one of today's groups of saints. And then we'll talk about Pole Party and my own grind list. So stick around, grab your controller or your rosary, whichever one, if you're praying for this to be a success. Either way, we thank you. Let's get to spiritual patch notes. Oh my gosh, we got a new follower with my dead duck. That duck died. Thank you, Wire Boy. All right, spiritual patch notes. Gamers know the two most important buttons on the console, power and reset. Power turns the system on, and reset gives you another chance when things get messy. Back in the day, if you are a retro gamer like some of us, before very many games had save states or checkpoints, you literally would be left with these two options. You could slide that button on your Super Nintendo or pop the spring button on your NES. It didn't really frustrate us because that was really all that we knew at that point in time. But it made us make decisions. If you messed up too bad, you would hit reset. And if you couldn't progress on a key moment, maybe you would hit reset again. Maybe you would wait till the next day. And that's really what you had to do. You had to play it all over again. And I think, reflecting this week after listening to a homily, I think that this translates really well to the spiritual life. In the spiritual life, the power button is a lot like baptism. It's what brings us to life in Christ, and the moment of grace flows in our souls. We're, of course, brought into the church. It's the first sacrament of initiation. We turn the power on. Once we're on, we're in the game. But what happens when we mess up in the game? That's where the reset button comes in. And no, I don't mean we have to go back to baptism. We don't believe that as Catholics. We've got something better than that. We've got confession. It's like hitting a reset on your soul. In fact, our guest once talked this way about indulgences, hard reset. It's a soft reset. Love quoting him on that. He doesn't know that I use that as my own material. You don't lose your progress with that sort of reset button confession. You don't lose the grace you've already built up. We talk about every week. Instead, all of the glitches in your life that are caused by sin are cleared, and you can jump right back into the level where you were, stronger and more focused. So, your vice, cleared. Scruples, cleared. Are you listening, Alden? Cleared. Now, here's the side quest for you guys. Prayer is like the save function. I want you to think about this. We've got the power button and the reset button. Well, prayer is your new save button. Suddenly, as a child of God, you're invited into prayer, a relationship with God. In fact, God initiates this save. Think of it like a continuous autosave. God initiates your desire to be with him, and he initiates that desire to pray with him. And without saving, without responding to that, even the best speed run can get lost. Do you understand the analogy? Prayer locks in the progress of grace and keeps us connected, the one who is God, who made the game. And if you're just in despair, well, I'm going to have to pause there because be sure you're tracking. Because next week, I want to continue this analogy and talk about things that I would do if I had any better judgment, because I would rage quit. We're going to talk about rage quitting next week and continue on this power analogy. For now, I want you to think on this analogy and remember that the saints teach us that even when we're low on spiritual health, even when we feel stuck in the hardest boss fight of our life, God's mercy is the ultimate continue screen. So remember, you've got power on a baptism, you've got the reset function in confession, and save is your prayer option. And infinite continues, of course, in God's love. You don't have to put your quarters in every week. And those are your spiritual patch notes. Kind of worried. Just saw my wife in chat. I mean, I saw her name in chat. She put the duck in there. Can't say anything I'm not supposed to. So September 18th, today's date, if any of you weren't paying attention to what day of the week it is. This is actually, if you didn't know, there are several feasts attached to just about every day of the year. A lot of them are optional. Some of them are there for certain parishes, certain archdioceses. Remember, we have a universal church, and within our church, we also have religious orders. So sometimes, if it's on their calendar or the universal calendar, they can choose to substitute. And one of today's possible substitutes is the Spanish Civil War martyrs. And this is a group of courageous men. And this isn't the Viva Cristo Rey. This isn't the Mexican Revolution of the turn of the 19th century or the 20th century. This is the Spanish Civil War. It took place in Spain. Please don't get them confused, but it was just about 40 years before that. So these were teachers, workers, and religious who stood firm in their faith during a time when anti-Catholic hatred burned hot across Spain. How could that happen? Names like Carlos, wow, this almost sounds like your name, Erazo, but this is Arana, Donato Jimenez, Bibiano, Fernando Garcia, Sandra, and so many others. I think there are a total of 16 martyrs today that are named. Of course, countless others. These are ordinary men, but extraordinary witnesses. They didn't carry words, they carried the cross. They didn't have power ups or shields like us. They did have grace, though, and they thought of it the same way that I explained in the opening segment. And when the enemy came, and come they will to all of us in one way or another, they were pressed on to fight that final boss, which is martyrdom. And even if we don't have a red martyrdom to look forward to, at least all of us can have a martyrdom to ourselves, right? We can have a white martyrdom. We can have a green martyrdom. We can die to this world. And that's what we're called to do. I want you to think about that, tie that in with the spiritual patch notes that I gave you. Almost forgot what I was supposed to say. Okay, I was going to give you a little bit from my book, Epic Saints, about Blessed Miguel Pro, if you don't know who that is. Amazing, amazing Mexican blessed. But I wanted to free up more time so we could talk to my buddy, Alden. Did we verify if his mom and dad are in the chat yet? We got to get them there. I see my wife and my priest in there. We're going to meet this amazing young man here in co-op mode. So here's your cue. Alden, here we go. Oh, you have to wait. Somebody clip that? No.
Yeah.
Alden is such a good sport. He was like, hey, I'm ready to talk. But he apparently hasn't watched the last few episodes and he doesn't know that there's a transition. It's okay. Alden, I have a script to read before you're allowed to talk, okay? So, co-op mode. This is a point in time where we meet our guest and Grace meets the grind of their life, and we want to hear from them and learn from them and maybe be inspired if that's our forte, whatever they bring to the life of Catholic media. We might want to follow them. So tonight we've got Alden Erazo, or Erazo as he says, better known on Discord as Katoons, a name that lives very deep within the heart of my hearts. Alden is the founder of CatholicGameReviews.com. Get that loaded into the chat right now. Save it to your favorites browser. And he is studying to be a cybersecurity engineer. Guy's really smart. He's a Nintendo fan, and runs a Bible study with some other nerds at his school's Catholic campus ministry. Alden, welcome to the Daily Grind. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got everything. That's all my life's a- accomplishments. A pretty short list there.
We have a
Thank
lot
you.
to talk about, man. And I'm just gonna like flash something on the screen here. Okay,
Okay.
so we've got so much to chat about. How tell me about, first of all, I want to get started with Catholic game reviews. Yeah, to me, this thing started like just last year, but it's been years since you founded this, right?
Yeah. Recently we hit our 5-year anniversary in July. So it was July 2020, smack in the middle of COVID. We were all bored, had nothing to do. So figured why not start a website? Started writing some reviews, and yeah,
What year did you start it?
2020.
Okay. That was right in the middle of COVID. Now, what gave you the idea to have Catholic game reviews? Was there a hole missing on the internet and you were like, somebody should do this? I guess it's gonna be me.
Yeah, I remember I was going around and looking at the cost of the different do- domain names, and Catholic Game Reviews was extremely cheap.
It's like a dollar
Yeah,
99.
and it was like $10.
Okay.
So not that cheap, but yeah, I felt like there was kind of a hole there.
I recognize that name, Satoons, Keytoons. Isn't that one of your alt accounts?
That's probably my dad actually. That's his username.
Ah,
Um,
his parents are tuned in. You guys didn't have to see the first boring part of the show. Welcome, parents. Say hi, mom and dad. That's you. Okay, so keep
They'll
going. So
figure it
keep
out.
going. You were looking at the domain names.
Yeah, and I done research in the past, right? Like when I wanted to play a certain game, but I wasn't sure about what the content would be like. I looked out there for Catholic reviews of it. And while there are plenty of Christian websites out there that review games, I didn't find any that were Catholic specifically. There was a Catholic movie review, but nothing for games. So I kind of saw a bit of a hole there. Then we've tried to fill it, and I think we've been doing a good job so far.
Do you think you cover the gamut of all new video games, or is there a certain kind of like genre that you guys focus on, or how do you decide what you're gonna go after?
Yeah, I've kind of just kept to the philosophy of letting people review what they want. Sometimes we do find a certain thing that we get asked about a lot, or a new game might come out that's really interesting. But I find if I can cultivate a community of people who have a lot of wide interests, that we tend to cover those games naturally. So I'd say we cover most stuff that's out there. If you look at certain writers, they might stick to specific genres more than others.
Okay.
But yeah.
So people, I imagine you get a lot of requests, maybe, or you have a lot of internal talk about, like let's just say like a game we know is probably going to have some content that's not so good. Like let's just use GTA. Like let's just say GTA 6. Is it GTA 6? That's the meme, right? That's never going to happen. Let's just say it comes out tomorrow. Is that a game that you guys are immediately tagging to talk about, or because we know that it already is nuanced with, probably inappropriate content for the most part, that you're just going to skip?
I would say we probably would tackle it. And I can tell you, if we didn't, we'd still be getting a lot of questions about it anyway.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we would try to get right on that.
So let me ask you, how do your requests come in?
So we have a FAQ section on our website that includes contacts. So it's usually either through our email or our social media sites, especially YouTube and Instagram. We'll get people that comment, or they D- DM us asking for a certain game. And sometimes we notice that a trend will take place with people asking about a few specific games.
Okay, now you've got a Discord. I belong to that Discord. I admit I can't keep up because I've got my life, right? 7 kids, full-time job, try to write books that people actually want to read. But I keep up in there, and there's a lot of discussion going on. Is that mostly your location for all of your writers, or do you plan to expand your Discord to include, or do you already include, people who are just there to also discuss the content they might find on your website?
Yeah, so I'd say it's primarily for the writers. We kind of use it like a Microsoft Teams almost. But we do have it open to patrons of the site. There's a general channel in there where we can chat with them, and we've talked with them. And even if you have a specific rank, you actually get to request a specific game for us to review every 6 months. So
What?
there are some that coming through that. Yeah,
So that's like a perk of
yeah.
participating? And is that rank based on like how often like I said, participation, like just purely the amount of times you comment, or?
So it's by our Patreon. So it is integration with Discord, where if you join as a paid member, you get access to the Discord, and if you have a certain tier, then
Yeah.
yeah.
I do have a certain tier. Last night I was playing, what was it, Kid Dracula, and I nearly lost my mind playing that. I encourage you to review it, and maybe not so much for the content exactly, as far as Catholic morals are concerned, but maybe the kinds of anger that you feel whenever you can't get past a certain point in a game. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I really like bringing those different perspectives on games too. We try to always have a faith perspective when we can on games. Even even ones that are very kid friendly. There's usually a way to connect it to God in some way. I do remember we got a upset person online asking, "Oh, I don't know how they connect all these games to God. Like somehow they managed to do it." But I'd say it's actually pretty easy because God made the world, so everything in the world is connected to Him.
Yeah, you gave me a very serious answer to a very unserious question. I guess I have a poker face that just lies constantly. So let's talk about your earliest gaming memories. Like, how did you get into video games? And you remember your parents are watching, so I encourage you to just be brutally honest, because maybe you got in trouble playing games like my kids. I mean, I am technically old enough to be your dad. This is a strange conversation, but tell me about your earliest memories playing games and kind of how you got into it.
Yeah, so I was definitely a kid that grew up in the Wii era. So my earliest memories are actually being at my grandparents' house. They got a Wii and we played Lego Star Wars and a Monkey Ball game on there. And I remember being afraid of Lego Star Wars because they take the lightsabers and they hit each other and the Lego guys fall into pieces. And I found that to be pretty violent at the time for me. Um,
That is pretty violent. Why are you playing that?
I know, man. I shouldn't, but it's just
Was there a lot of
it's what my parents
gore?
gave me.
Was there a lot of gore in that game? I'm just teasing. I'm just
I know,
teasing.
I
So
know,
what
I
was that?
know.
What was your first system? I think you'd said like a long time ago is the Wii.
Yep, it was the Wii, and my parents also got me a DSi XL.
Is that the one that you sold me?
I
I
don't
don't know.
remember selling you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. They're here and I'm trying to embarrass you. Well, I've got a funny story from your childhood that your mom shared with me. We'll get back to games in a minute. This isn't so embarrassing as much as it is really cute. And without looking at my phone, I'll try to retell it. Maybe your mom can or your father can correct me in chat. Um, but she said that whenever you were playing baseball, you just were adamant you would not be happy unless you were playing outfield. Do you know this story?
I do know a story about me turning
Let
away.
me tell the story. So Alden is, he's very, I think we all can agree. When he sets his eyes on something, he doesn't change his mind. And that can be a character strength, but it can really frustrate parents. So yeah, he wanted to play outfield and nothing else. And apparently he got stuck at second base and shortstop. And what he would do, and I'm not exaggerating, according to mom and dad, is he would turn his back to home plate and face the outfield the entire game. And they said this happened the entire season in open protest, turning your back to the entire play. What were you thinking?
I can't remember, honestly. I was probably, if I, knowing myself as a kid, I probably wanted to be as far away from the action as possible. So being in outfield, especially when you're playing with little kids, not a lot of people are going to hit it that far. So if I was there, I could kind of just hang out, play with my glove, look at the kids at the other game having fun, and not have to worry about about participating at all, and just think about the games I was going to play as soon as I was allowed to.
Tell me about your parents' rules in the house whenever you were growing up playing games. Did you have like a time limit, or did you get bad grades and they took the TV away, or how'd it work?
Oh yeah. Well, I always got perfect grades, so that wasn't an issue. But I do remember very well. Only Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays I was allowed to play, and it was an hour each day. And we would complain about that. We would ask for more, but then our parents would remind us of our friends who only got to play for 45 minutes on Sunday. So
Or if
yeah,
you live next to me, or your neighbor's kids never get to play video games anymore because we're just done. We're
yeah,
just done. Which is probably not a good technique, because we're just going to make them want video games more when they're an adult. But thanks to all my friends, by the way. I see you guys in chat. Gigs, K Max, love you guys. Your parents in chat. Alden had a VTech gaming system. Tell us about that. That's an old, like Nokia style gaming system, right?
so I honestly don't know what he means by that. My best guess is a leapfrog.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah. It is the leapfrog.
yeah, yeah. We used to have a leapfrog, and that had some really awesome games, like a Thomas the Tank Engine game. There was a Go
Yeah.
Diego Go game. Um,
That's how my kids started learning, but started being really addicted to playing games.
yeah.
Bad kids. So
Nope.
so let's go back to Catholic Games reviews. Tell me in so many words, you've probably already said it enough, but what do you hope other people will get from the site, not just what your intent is?
Yeah, I hope they are able to foster like a awareness of the media that they consume and how it affects them. I think a lot of people don't always realize um, that what they consume does have have an impact on them, even if it's not always clear. It
You
it
mean
it
like
it
water?
does change you, just like water. Yes.
Keep
um,
going. I'm a dad. I'm a
I
dad.
know,
I
I
can't
know, I
stop it.
know, I know. Um, I'm used to it. And then also, I think just trying to connect faith with games more. I feel like they've been a thing that's very separated when it doesn't really need to be. And especially through stuff like our interviews with directors of games, really being able to bring a greater faith aspect into it and look at games from a new perspective. I think that's been very, very helpful.
Have you learned anything along the way? Surely you had to be very worried about getting the morality stuff right. It's not, I mean, I'm a trained theologian, right? Multiple degrees. I've been writing for about 10, 12 years, but it is still very daunting to be able to pick apart a moral topic and deliver it in a way that's not going to confuse somebody and perhaps, drive them into further confusion of their own. Talk me through that.
Yeah, so the morality and parental warnings are definitely a big thing. One thing that I try to do is I try to make sure we're not putting ourselves into positions where we're going to spit out stuff that doesn't make sense or is wrong. So we primarily focus on bringing up content that seems like it could be a problem to people or their kids, and just help them be aware of that, and help them come to decisions on their own. We try not to say like, hey, this should be good for any kids 12 and under, right? Because I don't know. I don't know your kids. I don't know how you are.
Yeah,
People are different a lot. Um,
that's a great way to put it. So, wow, that just makes my mind like I'm just thinking of so many different ways to go with this conversation. But um, where do you feel personally that level of intellectualism that you had to build yourself in order to be able to talk people through the objective morality or the intentional morality or the circumstantial morality of these games?
yeah. Okay. So we're definitely getting into harder territory here. But yeah, I think a lot of research can be helpful, especially people will assume that consuming something is automatically a sin or
Okay.
not. I think a good example of research coming into that is when we reviewed Balatro. That's a game that uses tarot cards, which
Balatro.
those,
Okay.
yep,
Yeah, somebody recently purchased for that, one of our very generous patrons of this show.
yep.
I thought it was a
And
poker game.
it is. And
Okay,
it's
go
a,
ahead. Go
and
ahead. Talk me through
yeah,
it.
here, I'll explain. Yeah. So it's a very fun game. But with its theming, it includes tarot cards.
Hmm.
Um, and while they're used for a lot of occult things in the modern day, they're not in the game, and they also weren't originally. So when I reviewed that game, I did point out, hey, there are tarot cards, but they're not used for palm reading or trying to predict the future. They just they modify your deck, right? So it might turn like a two into a king or something. Um,
Got to
so I
know. You
think,
got to know to see it. I guess you got to know it to see it, to understand it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. But you're talking about the morality of that kind of thing and whether or not you just happen to run across something. And we've seen this so many times in our Discord, people coming by and saying, hey, this is a small part of the game. Can I still play the game? Like, how do you? I know how I would answer that, but I'm sure that that is a frequent thing that you have to address, right?
yeah. Usually, what we keep bringing up is most of the time the question you should be asking isn't, are Catholics allowed to play this? Which we get that question a
Right.
lot, but you should be asking, is it good for me to play this, or is it prudent for me to consume this at this current point in time?
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that we're being intellectual relativists. It means I'm pausing for you to finish the
Oh, yes.
sentence.
Um, I guess just different people are affected by things in different ways. So we really want to be looking at whether something is causing us to sin or causing us temptation.
Okay,
Um,
right. And that tarot stuff is the perfect example. For example, if somebody had been previously mixing with let's say Ouija boards or something in the past and was addicted to or had a penchant to be attracted to that sort of mystology and whatnot, then that's probably Balatro might not be a game that would be favorable to them. Maybe not because it's an immediate sin, but it could become the near occasion of sin. Is that what you mean?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's
Nailed
probably
it.
the word
Nailed
that,
it.
that you were
Interview
asking
done.
me.
So by the way, every
Yeah.
time you mess up, don't pick up on my cues. I put a fart noise over you. I just want to let you know. So if you see me like cracking up,
Oh, no.
just kidding. Cue the fart noise. Okay, so what's been your favorite moment? Because website building, doing all the JavaScript and all this, I call it dumb stuff. But this is something that is very much up your alley, really interests you. What has been your favorite moment, at least just building the site?
Building the site. I want to say it's when we got to interview Josh Sawyer. So I know this might not answer your question exactly, but
Oh, favorite
this is how
moment.
I want to put it. Yeah. So Josh Sawyer he directed a bunch of games. I believe Fallout New Vegas is included with that, and I'm pretty sure he was also the lead writer. So we had a really good interview with him. One of our writers just shot out an email to his team, And yeah, we talked for like over an hour. um and he we had a really good conversation just about religion and games and what the proper way to represent it is, and how to be respectful of the people you're depicting. And we got a lot of good feedback, even for people who are not Christian, just saying, "Wow, like we've never seen interviews cover these sorts of topics before." And Josh also was very happy to have it, and also retweeted us twice.
Dang. How many
Yeah,
followers? How many followers did that go to?
gave us a good amount. I think it reached over like 100,000 people on Twitter/X, and
What a
then on
blessing.
YouTube. Yeah,
So that sounds like kind of a, I don't want to say anomaly, but that sounds like one of the definitely the more interesting things. Do you want to do more of those sorts of things in the future, especially for those producers, maybe those involved in the creation of video games who definitely have a moral compass that agrees with what you're trying to push out there?
yeah, we definitely want to have more interviews with people in the gaming space. I think just even making them aware of the religious people who are playing their games will hopefully get them a bit more, just, help them consider that when they're writing their next game or designing them. But then also just as a method of evangelization too, brings in a lot of people from the outside, and we have been reaching out to other people and have some planes in the works. And just recently, actually, the BBC reached out for a radio thing, so that was cool.
Well, this podcast right here is just going to make your popularity explode. I don't know if you know. Just well, you know what? It could help a little bit. It could also reverse all of your stats you're trying to do. So let's talk a little bit about your degree work, because not a lot of people out there think whenever they think, hey, what are the college degree types that I can, there's engineering, there's the fine arts. I did aviation. Maybe people aren't thinking about that exactly from a university level, but cybersecurity. Why cybersecurity?
Well, every time people ask what I'm studying and I tell them, 9 times out of 10, I get the answer, "Oh, that's really good to do right now." So I think there's just, first off, there's a need in the industry for it, but also I find it pretty in in interesting. And I think especially trying to connect it with the faith, being able to pr- protect things, I
Yeah.
really like.
Yeah. I can say as a member of the employee of the Department of War, we can call it that now. The cyber landscape is definitely where a lot of this proxy is being waged. So I am very encouraged by young smart men like you who are stepping up to the plate in a very unusual way, but obviously a very important way. So, what is that degree stuff like? You were struggling just like you're in year one, right? You're still in your second semester, so 19 years old, just super wet behind the ears. What is that degree plan like? And yeah, tell us where you're at with that, by the way.
Yeah, so semester 7, I've been through quite a lot.
You got a
I
lot
had
done before 19.
I know, right? No, I know people who are out of college, I think, like way before me. But yeah, lots of math. I've not been a huge fan of that.
Why
But
math? Is it
coding,
because it's an engineering degree and the school had to put it together like that, or is that like a real big component of the code writing or whatever?
that's part of it. There were some math classes I definitely don't think I needed to take, but at the same time, knowing certain math can be very helpful, especially to make sure that your code will always work. Or AI does actually use a lot of a lot of principles that have to do with probability.
Okay,
Um,
right. Yeah, I mean, if it's all quantum computing, I mean, that's math. So you're right. I guess
yeah.
that makes sense. So Is there any personal bridge for you between cybersecurity and video games?
Cybersecurity in video games. Well, recently I bought a game on Steam that's like a cybersecurity game. And I've been meaning to play it, but I haven't played it yet.
I bought a border patrol agent simulator.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
$1. It was $1. We got to stream that.
Gotta play as ICE.
It,
But
exactly.
I will say, even actually working in the field, in cybersecurity, they do try to gamify a lot of things. Even
Yeah.
back to the early days when they're doing tests, they would often make it a game. And
Because it
even,
is. It's
yeah,
cat and mouse with our adversaries.
yeah, and even like some of the tools I've used will have achievements when you meet certain criteria. So there's definitely a overlap there.
That's great. That's got to give you a real big sense of purpose. I've never had an achievement before. That's cool. But hey, we got a lot to cover here because your interview, we cut out a lot of the early part of the show so that we could go over some things with you. But right now, I'd like to go into quick fire co-op. And that's where we ask you a series of really quick questions. You're not allowed to think.
I'm ready.
You're not allowed to think.
Okay.
I know you're a college student, but you got to turn that off for a second, okay?
Gotcha.
You ready?
Yep.
Are you sure?
No.
These are easy questions. Favorite game you've ever reviewed?
Minecraft.
That makes a lot of sense. I forgot to say, by the way, everybody, the after party, thank you for that. That must have been my cue. We're playing Minecraft after the show. If you've got Minecraft, especially Java Edition, make sure it's up to date. Whatever you got to do, Alden is going to walk us through beating the game in under an hour. We're going to set our own little group record. Okay. So get your Minecraft ready. Sorry for that interruption. I forgot that was what we were supposed to be doing. Dream console you've never owned.
Oh. Basically the Nintendo Switch 2, except it has all the functionality needed for DS games and Wii U games.
Oh, so literally dream console. Right. Yeah. Okay. So something that doesn't quite exist. A completely backwards compatible game system.
Yep.
Awesome.
Every Nintendo game.
Okay. Favorite game genre?
RPGs.
You just made a lot of enemies.
I think it's the most beautiful game genre.
Oh my gosh. Why do you hate RPGs so much? Wait, you're a Pokemon fan.
I am.
Did I say favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, oh my gosh. Because on the queue here, it says worst game you've ever played. And then you said RPG. Sorry. Okay. Least favorite game genre. Wow.
Least favorite game genre. I am going to say the mindless mobile games that have you click a certain button and just a bunch of stuff happens on screen to make your brain feel things.
Yeah, it's a rotten, dirty trick, isn't it? Worst game you've ever played.
Worst game I've ever played. You know, played a lot of bad games, and the only one I can think off the top of my head is Super Mario Strikers Battle League on the Switch. That was such a huge disappointment.
Oh no. Okay. I have a Super Mario Battle. I have a baseball game on the GameCube that's actually pretty darn good.
That one's good.
All of the GameCube sports games were just a dream come true. What is the best game you've ever played?
Minecraft. I think it's objectively the best video game. Not the most beautiful, but just as a video game, I think it's number one.
That is so cool. Okay, favorite cybersecurity buzzword?
Right now, I'm going to say agentic AI.
No clue what that means. One Catholic you'd like to co-op with in real life?
Co-op with? In real life.
You're not supposed to think. Okay, Jimmy Aiken?
Sorry.
Cool, great. Maybe we can get him on the show sometime. Okay.
I love him.
Your go-to snack while gaming.
Go-to snack while gaming, SpaghettiOs.
I love SpaghettiOs. No joke. It's my I've got fake COVID little excuse I want to eat junk food thing. What's scarier, a 0-day exploit or Dark Souls boss fight?
0-day exploit. You're cooked.
Buddy, I need you to explain what a 0-day exploit is. What is this? Is
So
this a coding term?
yeah, so it's when someone finds a vulnerability that was not previously known about.
Ah.
So often
Ah.
when even after stuff is patched, people will still exploit it in older systems or things that haven't been updated yet. But 0-day means that it's found now and people can use it now and no one is safe.
Wow. Okay, so that's like server disruption and cyber attacks.
That could happen. Yeah.
You would rather take one of those than a Dark Souls boss fight?
No, I'd say that's scarier than a Dark Souls boss
Oh,
fight.
that was the question. What a
He doesn't
host!
know his
As somebody said
his own
earlier,
questions.
what a host. Yeah, I'm just completely mixing these. Where can people find you online?
Yeah, so on Catholic Game Reviews, you can see the stuff right there as Catoons, Catoons. I'm also on YouTube by the same name. I usually just upload random things whenever I feel like it, or on GitHub if you want to see some of the code that is behind the site. Not everything, but stuff like the bots we use on Discord, it is there and it is public for you to see
Okay,
and
well,
use if you want.
that's not the first time we have that, and we're loading up all of your stuff. I want to go through a few things with you. Um, and I'm just going to put them up here. Your mother kindly shared these with me, and your father as well. Hi, Christian, and hi, Stacy. Very nice to have you here. I hope this isn't your last time watching the Daily Grind. Alden, whenever you see these images come up, just tell us what's going on.
Okay. It might take a sec because I need to see the stream. Oh, sometimes you've got a blockage and you just need to clear it out.
Yeah.
Got to breathe easy.
Be honest. Do you still pick your nose when nobody's watching?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Like a
100%.
like a boss. I'm proud of you for admitting that.
Mhm.
Okay, your mom says that you're praying.
Oh yeah, so you got to start them young, right? Teach him the ways, especially on that chair. That's a very good chair to just sit and contemplate on.
And you've got the same shirt, and it looks like that old fabric that we had in the late 90s. That is so cute. What's your brother's name there?
Eli.
Now, oh, we've talked about Eli before. Oh my gosh, how's Eli been?
Yeah, I'd say he's doing good. I don't know how much info I should share about him.
No,
I
no,
don't want
don't.
to dox him.
But yeah, but great. I'm glad to have heard of your brother again. It's been a couple years since we've been like, hey, who's that guy back there? Since you moved
Yep.
out of your parents' house. Good. I'm glad to hear his name again. Look at these handsome men. Like, I wish I had a lot of your father's looks. You're going to be very handsome when you grow up. Right now, not so much, but look at
Yeah.
this. So that's Eli there on your father's right, and you're on the left.
Yep. And I think that is the same shirt I wore to maybe I might have worn that at first communion. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah. Your parents did try to give me some religious related imagery here, so that might be what it is. Maybe they can tell us here in the chat. Gaius has a question for you that I want to read. Did Eli enjoy the Resident Evil 4 review?
Yes, I sent it to him as soon as it came out. It is one of his favorite games and also one of Gaius's favorite games now, even though I personally can't really take all the gory stuff. It's too much for me.
I think that's going to be my Halloween stream game. If we can raise enough subs, I'd like to do a playthrough, a straight pray through. Yeah, probably pray through on the GameCube version. Looking forward to that. Where is this gorgeous place? Is this in Spain or something? Is
So
this when you
this
went
is
to World Youth Day?
yes, I went to the last World Youth Day with Pope Francis. So this is in Portugal.
JJ, Resident Evil 4, by the way. This is in Portugal. Wow, man. obviously had a blast. Did you get a sunburn there?
A few. Yeah, especially when we watched the mass with Pope Francis. We were packed like sardines, and if I recall correctly, we were a few miles and two rivers away from the Pope, but still the same mass.
Man, let's go to Rome one day, buddy. Let's go to this one. This is covering your face here.
Oh, that's confirmation. There you go.
You remember
That's
the
when
remember the
sorry.
Archbishop?
I don't remember his name, but I remember that we asked about the staff and we're told that you could find it on Amazon.
I'm so mad at you. That's Brolio. He is the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Military Services. So
Oh, really?
technically my
Oh,
bishop for a number of years, and definitely a wonderful shepherd. Your dad was very happy to send that. All right. Is this in El Paso? Is that the Alamo? What is this?
so this is in California,
Did I just say
and
the Alamo's in El Paso? It's insane. With that.
this is in California where Saint Junipero Serra is buried.
Wow, cool. Is that
Yep.
around LA or is that around San Diego?
I am terrible with locations, but I'm going to say it's closer to LA than San Diego.
Okay, gotta look that one up. That is
Yeah.
neat. Okay. What do we got here? Is that another Fatima picture?
Let's see.
Looks very
Yes.
Spanish.
Yeah, so that's Portugal. Um, and I forget it actually exactly what that building was. It's probably something very important that I should know, but I don't.
I think it's a church.
I would say so, yes.
You know what? Honestly, it looks to me, is that possibly like a grotto? Is that possibly like a grotto replica?
I don't think so. I mean, I see where you're getting at.
No, no, it's not. Those are two very well carved doors. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, great. Okay. This one's called Alden 8. Dude, this is your future public servant government photo.
Oh.
Look how patriotic and Catholic this is. Where is this?
So this is in San Diego, California. They've got a lot of neat little mountains that you can climb up, and one of them has this awesome cross there. So got a swanky picture
I
there in the
I think that
American
you
flag
can
too.
see that when you're coming into the airport there in San Diego. I know the scene. That's cool. Okay, what do we got? What do we got now? Okay, and this is
That's also in San Diego, California, and it might be a different one.
obviously near the coast somewhere like Del Mar or something.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool. And what are we doing here? This was actually a live photo that your mom sent me, and there's
Oh, yes. So middle school me, those were my favorite pants. I liked black. I like gray. I mean, I still do, but I don't wear just them all the time anymore. Yeah, that's at a farm, and I thought that was very cool. I think that used to be my favorite picture of myself, which is strange, but
I've got a way better picture to show everybody once we're there. Oh, are
okay.
are we there? Look at this guy. Look at this. I am sorry, like I'm one of your friends, but dude, this is one of the cutest children I've ever seen. Look at his
Uh,
face. Look
oh,
look
you got the zoom up too.
look at this young Carlo Acutis. Just a
Oh
super
man.
cute smile. Dude, I bet you just wound all the mothers out there.
I was told that girls used to ask about me on the playground. But if you had another 2 years on that, you get that nice little pubescent stash. And you would not be a fan of that.
I told your mom in text, I said, man, he always had the bushy eyebrows, didn't he?
Oh yeah, get it from my dad.
Oh man, well, he's a handsome guy. Those are some cute photos, man. You were must have been a wonderful kid to grow up with. Your mom has something really tender for me to read to you. She says, when I think about the qualities that made me proud to have Alden in my life, it isn't just his intelligence or hard work, but the strength of his Catholic faith. Carries his values into everything he does, living with deep integrity, compassion, and a deep sense of purpose. He strives to put God at the center of his life, and the people around him reap the benefits of this gift, such as myself.
Wow.
Flip
Thank you,
it.
Mom.
Flip it so you can always have that in your back pocket. Those moments, I will tell you, not to bring the attention to myself, but no longer having a mom, I will tell you, flip that, save it, keep it forever, because those are going to be nice reminders in your future. Always, when you're discouraged, go back to that message, Alden. That was really sweet that she wrote that unprompted.
Yes, I'm very, very thankful, but also not surprised, not out of pride, but that she is so loving that I don't have any doubt that she'd be ready to put in something nice to say about me. She is loving to a point where it confuses me because I honestly have trouble seeing how someone could have that much love and that affection
Wow.
for people because I can't say I've had the affection for a person in the same way that she shows me. It's very, very amazing, and maybe if I'm a parent someday I'll understand, but currently I don't.
Well, somebody had to say something nice about you.
Yeah.
So I want to let you know here in the chat. I'm not sure if you're watching, but your dad says that he wrote that, but I'm sure she agrees. So now you have to go on for 5 minutes telling us about your dad and how much he loves you and
Wait,
how you're not surprised.
let me see if he really said that. I don't believe you. Yeah, no, he didn't. Wait, I think Alden might not be. Yeah, nope. Wait, it was his dad that wrote that, not his mom.
Wasn't that nice?
Dad, I wasn't aware you were capable of stuff like that.
Get ready for tender moments in your life as you get your life on track after college, Alden. You will start to think of your parents a lot differently, especially as you start to form the outlines of your family. Moments like this will come back, and you'll say, "Wow, those you can't say it enough to your kids that I love you, and you can't hear it enough, especially from your father, that I love you." So, wow, I'm jealous. Wish my dad would come on the show and be like, "I'm proud of you," but he's not. I'm just kidding. My dad loves me too. Get to see him in 2 weeks. Buddy, are you ready for boss battle?
Oh yeah.
Here we
Here we
go.
go.
I hope you guys like that. Here we go. Don't talk, Alden. Trying to get him to talk. Alden, welcome to Boss Battle. You have to keep your batteries on in this segment. You've been given 10 batteries, and what was your least favorite handheld? You have to keep your batteries on that on in order to keep going. Okay. So this game is called Retro or Right. I just made it for you because you're always poo-pooing on the wonderful old games. And you're telling me things like, okay, boomer, and really not even answering my Instagram messages, which I send the best ones. Ask people like gigs. I send the most hilarious stuff. I'm just disappointed that you don't reply. So here's what's going to happen is I'm going to read you a quote, and you will tell me if it's from a retro game, you'll say retro, or from a Catholic liturgical rite. Does all that make sense to you?
Yes, and I bet I'm going to be terrible at this.
Good. Well, you got to keep your batteries on. Guys, you can cheer him on. Remember that your bits are live. If you want him to have more batteries, if you want to bless him, you make a bits donation or do 5 subs or do 1 sub or however many you want to give. That'll either bless him or you can take away his batteries and damn him. But the thing is you have to tell me if you want him to be blessed or damned, and we'll see how much people support you and love you. Maybe you get nothing and you're just on your own with your 10 batteries. How about that?
Pay to win.
Pay to win. Exactly. The best game genre of them all. All right, let me get my batteries up. Gaius just, well, giving 5.
Yeah, wait, what's that for though? What's that for?
Yeah, did he bless you or did he not? And you also got 100 bits from Star Warp. Thank you. And thank you for the very generous 5 donated subs. Let's start you off at 20 batteries. Let's start you off at 20
Sweet.
batteries. And Star Warp says, "Go boss." I think I gifted 5 Twitch subs and it hits me with ads. Somebody get this guy a sub. You should not be hitting. By the way, that started a hype train. If we give a little bit more, we'll get there. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let us cling to the cross, for the shadows are gathering.
Uh, Retro.
Retro. Okay, good job. Sounds like a hymn verse, but it's actually from Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse,
Ooh,
1989. Weren't you born in 1993 or something?
I think that was Carlo.
Okay. What year were you born? 2000?
Oh, 03.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm old. Okay, here's one for you. Dominus fortito mea et laus mea. The Lord is my strength and my praise.
Okay, well, this is definitely not retro. What's the other word again?
Right.
Right. Yep.
Okay, it's 100% liturgical from Psalm 118. Right before the longest psalm in the Bible, by the way, 167 verses or something like that. Often sung in the Easter chants, which is really nice. All right. You haven't lost any batteries yet. Yeah. So I'm just trying to make sure that nobody wanted you to lose batteries. All right. May the light be your strength in the days of darkness.
Oh, that's 100% retro.
Really?
I would think so. Light.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
There you go.
Retro. It's from The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past.
Ah, I feel
Okay.
that actually.
All right. Well, let's see if you know this one. In Manus tuus Domine commendo spiritum meum. Into your hands, Lord, I commend my spirit.
Oh, right.
It's right.
Say it all the time.
It is the comp line prayer, but it could easily pass as perhaps a dying NPC and maybe an RPG or something.
It could.
You haven't lost any batteries yet, and I'm mad. All creation bows before the great flame.
Retro.
Okay, that's Secret of Mana. That was a softball. Very liturgical sounding, though, maybe. All
Yeah,
right.
all creation bows, yeah.
Vere dignum et istum est. It is truly right and just.
Right.
Yes, if you didn't get that, I would be like, I don't know what mass you're going to, maybe the Latin mass. But actually, they still say that.
Yeah.
It's in secreto though. It's quietly. Okay, next. The demon king shall rise when the sacred seal is broken.
I mean, this is Zelda, so retro.
Oh, should he lose a battery for that? That's
Oh
fire.
no.
That's Fire Emblem, Sacred Stones.
That's fair, yeah.
Let's take away 2 batteries for that very arrogant guess. Okay. I don't know why I made such easy ones. I guess it's because I want people to be well catechized and well bathed in the Catholic faith. Sanctus, 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 Dominus Deus Sabaoth.
Holy, holy, holy. Is it Lord God of Hosts? I'm gonna say it
Yes,
right.
yes, it is right. But it does sound like it belongs in Final Fantasy VI as a boss summon of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay, the faith shall be thy shield, and thy hope shall be thy armor.
Well, this is actually getting into one where I'm gonna go right, but I'm
You're
not
gonna go
sure.
right? Yep.
Yeah.
You lost a battery.
Ah,
Retro. It's from Dragon Quest IV.
Dragon Quest. I gotta touch up on that.
K-Mac says game. Final Fantasy X 10. Think. Very good. Quia tuus Deus fortito mea.
Oh, I'm not getting the English equivalent this time.
I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna quit softballing these to
So
you.
far, yeah, no, it's fair. So far, all these in Latin have been right, so I'm going right.
Okay, it's all right. By a psalm verse, and that is for you, God, are my strength. Very often used in the liturgy of the hours. It's a psalm verse used in the Roman breviary feels indistinguishable from an RPG flavor text. Buddy, you didn't lose many because everybody was cheering you on, but we reap the benefits because everybody now knows all of these wonderful sacred verses and the difference between that and something like Castlevania. Well done. Throw some holy water on it.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys.
Guys, this is the last time you'll see him, although we will still see him, and you'll see what I mean in Poll Party. I want you to tell us again, without me putting fart noises over you, where people can find you and why they should go to CatholicGameReviews.com.
Yeah, so you can find me at github.com/catoons, CATOONS. Also, youtube.com/cartoons and catholicgamereviews.com. Even if you just search it into Google, you'll find it there. Top of the page, we got #1 SEO. Shaun actually probably knows what that means.
I
Yeah,
do.
if you want reviews of games that'll point out content that might be worrisome or give a new faith perspective on the game that can help you have a more spiritually edifying experience when you're playing the game, or if you want to see us if you want to read our interviews with people like Josh Sawyer or Flute Guy from the Game Awards, we interviewed him too. That stuff is on there as well.
That is so awesome. I had to resist every temptation to interrupt you there because I want everybody to go to your website. But I am pretty upset that while that was very funny what you said, it was also another old man reference, which loses all your batteries as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's go to poll party. Everybody get out your keyboards. All right, look at the cutie McTootie still there at the bottom of the screen. This is going to be poll party. Hey, K-Bart, can you please clear the poll, please? This is going to be fun. This is going to be another, it's not going to be a trivia-based game. This is one's going to be called, because we got our cybersecurity engineer student here, it's called Firewall of Faith. I'll throw out 2 holy defenses against evil, and you guys with your hashtags will pick which one you'd rather equip for your soul's antivirus. And I want you to vote with your respective hashtags. So, for example, it'd be hashtag rosary or hashtag examine for the very first one. We're going to get you loaded up. You'll have 60 seconds to answer. Let's just see how you guys stack your cards against the great enemy. Okay? Here we go. Your round number 1. Temptation attacks your browser history. Is that going to be a rosary firewall or a daily examine antivirus? Hashtag rosary or hashtag examine? Tunes, you're welcome to vote.
Oh, I will be.
Okay, we got 1 vote for rosary. Again, temptation attacks your browser history. That's a little bit of a taboo. Would you rather a rosary or a daily examine? Boy, I would love to take both. Matt Frad said you cannot, and I think we know what this touches on, but who knows what exactly it is. Maybe you got something else you're doing in your browsery history. He said you cannot sin if you pray the rosary every day. And I don't remember every Matt Frad quote, but that one stands out. I love that. All right. Looks like most of you are coming in. Oh, we get more votes. Got 8 votes, 2 seconds left. 3/4 of you say rosary, 2 would do the examine. I say both. Why not? I think you have to do a examine before you do a rosary. Okay, round 2. Here we go. Pride. Pride pings your IP. Would you rather have humility shield or confession reset button? Hashtag shield or hashtag confession? Pride, the great sin of pride. All sins stem from pride. Lack of humility pings your IP. Would you rather have the humility shield or confession reset button? Hashtag shield or hashtag confession? What'd you go with, Alden?
Confession.
When was the last time you went?
Sacrament. About a month ago.
Is it your favorite sacrament?
I'd say that'd be the Eucharist, but it's a close second.
Yeah, I think that the mercy of confession, just this amazing gift to just go and over and over and over and over and over confess, even if it's the same sin, is an amazing gift. 5 seconds left. Looks like we have less votes than last time. Guys, vote! Most people say confession. Why do you think most people voted confession?
Because it's
Because
the best sacrament.
because it's efficacious. Efficacious grace. It cannot fail. Look at your cute little face down there. Do you like it?
Not particularly.
Yeah, I hope you're not weirded out that I'm saying how cute you are, but I'm telling you, that is I could pinch your cheeks off
Oh
Cute.
no.
And I don't have any reservations about putting it any other way. Round three. Oh, you'll love this one, Alden. Anxiety, DDoS hits your mind. You're going to have to explain what DDoS is.
Ah.
I had to look this one up. Anxiety, DDoS hits your mind. You'd go with the Litany of Trust patch or the Divine Mercy Firewall. Hashtag trust or hashtag mercy. Alden, what is a DDoS? Quickly.
So that is when someone hacks a bunch of computers and makes them all attack a certain website or server at the same time. So it's like an overflow of requests. And I'd say a firewall is definitely the way to go on this. I don't know why you guys are doing trust, but
I don't know. Mercy, Divine Mercy Firewall or hashtag mercy. Oh, whoa. No, Divine Mercy Firewall or hashtag trust for Litany of Trust Pass. Wow. Okay. 10 seconds left. That was a great explanation. I had to look that one up because I just tried to get a bunch of, to make this game. Most of you voted Mercy, by the way. That's great. And thank you for the advice from our wonderful engineer. To make this game, Alden, I had to look up a lot of cybersecurity jargon and then figure out if I could make a good list of it in order to hopefully talk people through what these things are, because not everything like malware, which is in the next question, is totally obvious to everybody. But so thank you
yep,
for
yep.
that. All right, let's get that poll reset. And here is round four. Greed installs its malware. Do you give an almsgiving upgrade, hashtag almsgiving, or do you go for the fasting debug mode, hashtag fasting? And so the question again, greed installs malware on your soul. You go with fasting or do you go with almsgiving? Very Lenten, huh? Alton's so concentrated here
I
on this
know
side.
you guys can't see me. I was thinking of the optimal one, which I'd
We've got
say
a
is
lot of votes
almsgiving.
in already. So what did you vote?
Almsgiving, since it seems like a software update, which I'm guessing that is what that means, would be better.
Okay. Do you feel like anybody maybe gets the wrong idea about malware?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. It's bad software. You
Oh,
don't want it on your computer.
okay. This is stuff that is intentionally made to activate and kind of infect your PC.
Yeah, and usually either lock it up and charge you a fee to unlock it, or just steal a bunch of your info.
Ooh, golly, that is some scary stuff. Okay. Well, you're going to go fight all that crime, aren't you? Okay. So most of you said almsgiving, but it was almost split right down the middle. We need an eighth voter. Need an eighth voter. I guess that'll be me. Let me make room to my keyboard here. Okay. That's cool. Okay. Round five. Are you ready? Round five. The evil one tries fishing for your soul. PH, fishing for your soul. Do you go with Guardian Angel 2FA or do you go with Michael Intrusion Detection, like the Archangel? So that's hashtag Angel for the St. Michael Intrusion Detection. Nope, I got that backwards. It's Guardian Angel, hashtag Angel 2FA, two-factor authentication, or St. Michael Intrusion Detection. And that is hashtag Michael. Wow, what a mouthful. Walk us through those.
Yeah, so phishing is it's stuff like when people send you an email and try to get information out of you. You usually your credentials to an account, and I'd say 2FA would be a lot better here because that would stop the attack from actually going through. While intrusion detection, well, it's a little bit too late.
Can you believe that our little itty bitty cartoons has accumulated this incredible knowledge? Well done. We are split right down the middle. Can you give us the tiebreaker? You said that it
Uh,
was the intrusion
Angel,
detection.
no,
Oh,
Angel,
oh, okay. 2FA to make
2FA.
sure
Yep,
it's you.
yep. Or so it doesn't happen in the first place, but yes, that's what
Dude, this is
2FA is
one of the
for.
best games I've made so far because you get to fill us in with a lot of cool content in the meantime. Okay, we're going to reset the poll, give you 60 seconds. Round six, boss level distraction at mass. Do you go with holy water refresh? Hashtag water. Or do you go with Gregorian chant noise canceller? Hashtag chant. Boss level distraction at mass. Not exactly cybersecurity, but Is there any cybersecurity relevance in that one for you, Tunes?
I mean, you could maybe liken it to a DDoS attack where there's so much going on that you can't really sort out, um, which you need to.
Getting a headache from all those distractions at mass, and suddenly you need. What was the solution to the firewall? Was the solution to the DDoS?
Yeah, it was a firewall because I'd filter out the bad stuff from being able to contact you in the first place.
Trekkie says, good call. Guys, we have 9 voters. That's a record for the show. We're growing. We're growing. That's a metric. 9 voters. Awesome. Okay, so most of you said can't. What? Oh, oh, it's Lippy. A generic gamer followed. Well, I'm really happy for the follow, but I wish it was a more specific gamer. All right, that's my dad joke. Thank you for the follow, buddy. All right. I was gonna ask Katoons like what we should go with, but let's just get to the next one. All right, let's reset round 7. Join us, generic gamer. You're swarmed by an endless pop-up temptations. You go with Guardian Angel pop-up blocker, hashtag Angel again, or do you go with the Saint Benedict metal firewall, hashtag Benedict? Endless pop-ups. Dude, that was a thing back in the day. I have not seen things like that in a while. Are we still dealing with little hacks like that, little malware, things like that?
Browsers these days are usually built with pretty good protection against that sort of thing. I'd say it does still happen, but I think people go for
Endless
attacks
pop-ups.
more. Yeah, endless pop-ups. No,
Those
browsers
were
will stop
those
that
were a
for you.
crime back in the day. Like we've had annoying pop-ups these days, which is by your recommendation, I use Brave browser. Um,
Yeah.
but also for other reasons. But yeah, the back in the day, you used to click it and like 7 more would open. It would, and then it would of course crash your computer. That was bad. Okay, most of us went with Guardian Angel pop-up blocker. Is that what you would suggest, young man?
Yes, and I don't know what people think a firewall would do against pop-ups, but probably nothing.
Thanks for the expertise there. And thanks for the follow, by the way. I couldn't read it quick enough out loud. I got to check it in the replay, but thank you for that follow. Oh, it was deeply melted. That sounds good. Now I'm hungry. I want like grilled cheese or something. Do you like grilled cheese?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Astronauts get to skip the line for grilled cheese, and I bet K-Max is going to get that.
Reference?
Yep.
All right, let's go with round 8. Another DDoS attack is launched against your peace of mind. Now that we know what that is, let that inform you. Would you go with Eucharistic Adoration Server, hashtag adoration, or would you go with Sacred Heart 2-factor authentication, hashtag Sacred Heart? DDoS attack is launched against your peace of mind. Do you go with hashtag adoration or you go with hashtag Sacred Heart? What do you go for?
I think neither of these are good options, but I'm more thinking like you're escaping to a server that's not, well, I'd say Christ cannot be DDoSed because he can't be, God is infinite, so he can't be overwhelmed by anything. So I go there. God's server cannot be DDoSed.
So you go with adoration.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Okay, we're almost split down the middle, and I haven't even voted. Look at all the participation we got. We got generic gamer. Have you been here before? Welcome, man. Somebody throw him a sub. Somebody give him a gift sub. Any of you guys with deep pockets wants to support the channel, give these 2 new gentlemen a sub. Or generic and Melty. That's what your new nickname is. You go ahead and subscribe. Look at the cute guy on the screen. That's our Alden boy. You cute. All right. So most of you
Or
said
that kid won't get fed.
Yeah. How old were you there? We didn't ask.
Yeah, probably like 8.
8?
Probably between 8 and 10. I don't know.
Mega cutie. I was in my very awkward stage, like goofy face. That never changed, but goofy hair, goofy teeth. Okay, most of you said Sacred Heart. Okay, not adoration. All right, that's fine. That's great. Flood it. If it's flooding, I say fight fire with fire. And whenever I think of the Sacred Heart, I think of flood of mercy. So let's go with that. Okay, round 9. Second to last round. The devil tries to brute force your prayer life password. I think we're going to have to get a read on that. The devil tries to brute force your prayer life password. Do you go with a memorare encryption? Hashtag memorare. Or do you go with divine mercy captcha? Hashtag mercy. I love this. The devil tries to brute force your life. Is that a jargon from the cybersecurity world? Brute force?
Yeah, so it's pretty much like when someone tries to guess your password. A method to do it is just try a million passwords, or people will use lists of the most common passwords in the world, and they'll try like the top 1,000, top 10,000.
Mine is my common passwords. I'm telling you, probably unless it's on my DoD stuff, actually Department of War stuff, is probably amongst the most common. Just pro software engineer is here. Wow, lots of followers tonight. That is like the best compliment. Thank you guys for that. The subs, they're great. The bits, that's great. But when people say I'm here to stay, that is a great sign that I'm doing the right thing here. So thank you. Do you know who these people are, by the way? Did you invite some of your classmates? Pro
I did
software
invite some of my
engineer?
classmates, and I have gotten a text from at least one of them I know is watching. But there might be some other ones too.
Katoon said, or whoa, my gosh, I almost said Katoons and then I said Charlie. I don't even know what I'm saying. Trekkie says encryption won't help with a brute force attack. Okay, good to know. Sean's password is Sean. I don't like you guys. All right, that's not the password. Okay, last round. Are you having fun? Are you going to miss this?
I'm having so much fun.
I'm having
Best
fun
part of my
too.
day.
Good. Okay, so here we go. It's live. Satan drops malware into your family group chat. Ooh, so secrets are being traded. Satan drops malware into your family group chat. Hashtag holy water for holy water antivirus or hashtag spear for St. Michael's spear debugger. What's the right choice?
Should I say it?
Don't say it. So are you guys going with holy water, hashtag holy water, and that's antivirus? Remember, malware, or do we go with a debugger for hashtag spear? I guess that malware is already there. I'm going to have to go with spear. Wouldn't that be the debugger?
Well, a debugger is just meant for finding and fixing bugs. Antivirus could actually detect even when the malware is on there. It'll know that it's there and can remove it for you.
Is original sin like malware that's pre-installed? What would be the right cyber security analogy for sin in the life of a Catholic or a Christian?
I could see that. I could see it being like malware pre-installed, or maybe bloatware.
Bloatware.
Well,
That's that stuff that
bloated all
just
my stuff.
comes on your PC,
Exactly. Yep. And you don't want it there.
and
So I would
some of it you
say
can't, some of it you can't uninstall.
exactly.
It's not,
Correct
no
choice for
no analogy is perfect. But that was pretty funny. I think we all get there. Chucky says he's really trying to fight his namesake. Yeah. Debuggers for programmers, not end users. Debuggers would be closer to confession. Okay, cool, man. I hope that some of these are your friends. It's really nice to have you guys. What I'm going to do is, because so many new people are here, I'm going to invite you guys to our Discord server. This is the best place on earth. No other servers, to my knowledge, exist. And I'm happy to have it. Dude, Katoons, Alden, Erazo, it was so fun to have you on the show. This is not the last time you're going to be doing this. So if you missed it, this was Katoons. I had to make fun of you there. But tell everybody one more time, and I'm going to put fart noises all over it, where they can find you, or just tell everybody goodbye or something.
oh man, yeah. So you can find me github.com if you want some of the code that is behind Catholic Game Reviews. You can find it there, github.com/cartoons. Same on YouTube. You can check out the reviews that me and my team write at catholicgamereviews.com. And if you want to watch some of the interviews that we've done, including with Flute Guy and Josh Sawyer, you can find that at the last YouTube link there that was just posted in the chat.
Dude, that was the best interruption of all time. We met our follower goal. I think that put us at 590. I'm sorry you got interrupted. I will clip it all and I will put it in the Discord. I'll blow it up on YouTube. Thank you for being such an amazing guest, Trekkie. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. That is an incredible act of love and just generosity for the show. And thank you to our 5 or 6 new followers. Alden, you brought a crowd and they're here to stay, man.
Yeah, I actually got a text from another one of my friends is here in the chat. So shout out to, I think it was Pro Software Engineer, right?
Dude, that is the
Thank
bomb.
you for showing up.
I want to thank you again, Alden. You're an inspiration. You might not feel like it at 18 years old right now. One day you'll be able to have a beer with me or something. But in all honesty, I want to say thank you for what you do in building the kingdom of God here on earth. Thank you for tilling the soil in this vineyard. And thank you for reaping the harvest with me. It is such a blessing to be your friend. And I really mean that. Thank you.
Thank, thank you, and I feel the same the other way. And honestly, wouldn't have been able to build the website that I have now if it wasn't for the awesome community that you've brought up here. So,
I
yeah,
love you, man.
thank you.
It's time to mute your mic. And guys, you can check out Alden in the Discord server. Here is the link one more time. We're going to be playing Minecraft. I'm staying up all night in order to beat this with him. I don't care if I've got Friday work tomorrow. We're doing it. And maybe my son Gabriel, who is a Minecraft. Yes, Minecraft. That's what we're going to call it. He's an addict. I love you, buddy. You're muted now. See you in the Discord. Guys, let's get to the grind list and let's close out this show. Yeah, we like to get high in Minecraft. That's why it's Minecraft. Guys, this is the grind list. This is where we talk about what we're grinding through as we grind our life through the grace that the Lord is asking us to cooperate with. I'm going to talk about a few things that I'm grinding on, and I'm going to share some games. I encourage you in the chat to share your prayer requests. We will read them together, or maybe I skip some of them and don't. But you're welcome to do that. Me, this week, I had a wonderful week of prayer. I've been sin free. Check it out. Been sin free. Although I love to get to confession once a week, I think it is just good for the soul, even to talk through venial sins. And I encourage you guys to do that. I say it every week here on the show. Get to confession, get to confession. Make those lines so long that the priest has to stop what he's doing and delay mass or whatever he's got to do. Make a second day of confession on the parish website. Get there. It helps. I'm praying the liturgy of the hours more. I'm doing lauds. And very soon I'm going to be doing comp line with my boys. So the boys probably not listening. Going to be doing that. And games. Wow. We played Kid Dracula last night. Go check it out on the VOD. That's not a shameless plug. If you really want to see me just groan as an old man, this was a really tough game. It was super cute at the first and pretty easy, making easy mistakes. And then all of a sudden it was like the lid opened up and it's like, what kind of sadistic parents or family or gamers enjoyed this? It was probably I'd up there with like above Mega Man. It was ridiculous. And I had to use a lot of save states. And oh, by the way, I published a bunch of clips to prove that I wasn't losing my mind. Although Trekkie was correct that one time, I did hit my head on that platform. But the other times I was giving phantom blowback damage, knocking me off and just ticking me off. That was my grind list for this week. Guys, I am so happy that I finished that game, but also happy it was gone. Patoons is cool. Minecraft, the pirated version. Where's the prayer request, guys? Ooh, we're going to go out with a bang here. We're going to join you guys in the Discord in the end credits. If you are a subscriber, which I encourage you all to be, support the show, support the financial basis of how all this works. It's very encouraging to me and to others, especially those who gift subs. Thank you. You'll be featured in the end credits. Got another follower. YOLO 56 swagger. Guys, thank you so much for the encouragement. I am so happy that this was the fifth show. Next week, we're going to have, guess who? Sean Beeson. We're going to have Sean Beeson. If you didn't know, he creates game music. Check him out on Spotify before we get into next week. Got some really cool work on there. Sean Beeson, Beeson. He's going to be the guest next week. We're going to talk about music and gaming and how he puts all that together. I don't really know the guy, but I am just so excited to meet him and just talk through things like that, just like we did today with Alden. Again, we're going to relaunch the stream immediately after this, and we're going to play through, apparently, with Alden's leadership, we're going to play through Minecraft. Am I going to talk about spelling my name? I'm going to talk about spelling Shaun, sure. But he is Sean, Scene, Beeson. Guys, good night. And thank you for coming to the Daily Grind where gamers find grace. You can watch this in the after show. Please share it with all your friends. And thank you once more to all of our patrons. You'll be featured here. And I love you guys. Good night.